first met when I was 8. I still have the picture when we took in front of your Christmas tree at your house. And also 3 years later, you were helping me get prepared for the 92nd Y concerto competition, which was an amazing experience for me because it was the first time I ever played like the full concerto with an orchestra, and it was a blast. And you always taught me how to stretch before playing and how it's important to practice breathing exercises. What do you want to advise to the young students, like young flutists like me, who want to grow up to be a musician?
Well, you mentioned all these building blocks of playing the flute well. If we don't have a substantial airstream and understand what the speed of the air is about, which I will be doing in the master class with all the students for All That Flute, is really concentrating on how to create a phrase through the use of your airstream, right? Because it's our bow arm. It has everything to do with how we can make it musical. And then with understanding what's happening in the music, what's a cadence, where is this transitioning to? That's all so very, very important. And as you know, as a student of mine, that I'm always dwelling on musicality. Use your hand like this. So breathing in. Good. Try that. Try using your hand like you're conducting. In. Good. Try it once again. Is it okay if I put my hands on you? Okay, so breathe in again. In. Use your hand. It doesn't matter if you're playing your Tafanel Gobert scales, if you're working on long tones with your vibrato or non-vibrato. It's always about, is this musically interesting, right? Because my father, who was a wonderful musician and a violinist and symphony conductor, he used to say, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, no one else will. And of course, when you play, you are so enjoying it, and you're able to go off the page, which will be interesting to explain to the audience at All That Flute. What does that mean to go off the page? In other words, to make it sound like it's an improvisation.
I definitely learned a lot how to express my musical ability, and I'm very thankful to have met a teacher like you, and you always inspire me to get forward with my musical life. And I love how Miss Wincenc treats me like a musician, even though I'm a young student. She doesn't treat me as young. She doesn't give me exceptions. She treats me like a real musician. And also, one day at Juilliard pre-college, I think we were doing long tones, and I had a very smaller sound then, and I was kind of shy and that kind of quiet girl at first when I came to her in pre-college. And she opened the door and told me to walk through a hallway, just playing the flute, walking around. And at first I was like, no, I'm not doing that because there are people outside. But she really helped me overcome that shyness inside me, that very timid kind of feeling inside me, because I eventually walked through the hallways and I noticed how refreshing that was to actually let it out while playing and while walking through the hallways. And also it just helped me, try to make me like a good performer and perform in front of people without kind of being shy and not expressive. And
this is wonderful to remember that moment, because I work with so many students all the time. And I'm glad that made a strong impression, because it's about space. The flute doesn't have a resonating body of wood. It doesn't have a reed. We don't have hammers that strike a string on the piano. So we have to really find out what is resonance.
Yes.
what is making the flute resonate to change the molecules and excite the air, yes, but how to convey that beyond just the tube. And I think you've heard me say this, that this is the instrument. So the more comfortable we can be in our physical bodies, the more able we'll be able to just transcend the flute. And I just want to say that, I had a strong background in dance and drama.
Yeah.
I worked in theater productions as an actress, and space means a great deal to me. Like, especially when you're in a concert hall and your next performance will be in a large hall where you want to reach everyone all the way up in the nosebleed section of the balcony, as well as the person in the front row. And it's very important to understand that kind of relationship, and you in relationship to that space and how your sound is traveling, but also your thoughts and your energy. And I just want to say that inspiration, you called me inspirational, for a teacher to work with someone who's so developed and maturing musically is extremely inspiring to me. So I'm very grateful to you, Sooah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.